Now let the word Shri be defined and explained. What is the meaning of the word Shri? It means attraction or charm. Sha plus Ra means a Shri. In very old Vedic language, there was only one Sa, Dantya Sa, dental S, and that was pronounced by touching the teeth from inside. But from the Dravidians, old inhabitants of India, the Aryans who came from Central Asia, learned the use of Talavya Sha, palatal S, and Murdanya Sha, cerebral S. Dantyasa is the acoustic root of the sentient principle, or Sattvaguna, that is. It is the Bidya mantra of Sattvaguna. Talavya Sha is the acoustic root of the mutative principle, that is Radyaguna. It is the Bidya mantra of Radyaguna. Murdanya Sha is the acoustic root of the static principle. It is the Bidya mantra of Tamaguna. Now Ra is the acoustic root of energy. Remember, when a binding principle functions within the arena of matter, then it is known as energy. Otherwise, it is to be known as principle. A guna becomes balam, energy, when functioning within the scope of matter. It, balam, cannot function without matter, and the suffix e makes this word feminine. So the entity that has the charm of the mutative principle and the activating faculty of energy is Shri. Actually, Shri means attraction, charm, rather, attraction and stamina. And what is the meaning of Jnanam? It means the subjectivization of external objectivity. When the external objectivity is subjectivized by you, then you have acquired Jnanam of that entity, of that object. But for this subjectivization, there should be three entities: the knowing entity, the subject, and the known entity. The object and the activating faculty that connects subject with object. So for Jnanam, three entities are prerequisites: the knower, the known, and the activating faculty. There may be a defect in the knower, there may be a defect in the emanation of the known, or there may be a defect in the activating faculty, or Jnana Kriya. So in the case of this Jnanam or Jnana Kriya, there is every possibility that it will be imperfect due to certain distortions. But what is actual jhana? Actual jhana means the complete assimilation of external objectivities. It is Atma Jnana, and in this Atma Jnana there is no scope for distortion, because in the case of Atma Jnana, the three entities mentioned above will not remain. The knower and the known are the same entity in the case of Atma Jnanam. When you know that you yourself are the knower, the Jnanata, and you yourself are the known, there will remain no linking faculty, so all the three entities, the knower, the known, the knower, and the activating faculty, become one in the case of Atmajnana, complete assimilation of external objectivities. But in the case of the other Jnanam, as already found, there remain three entities. So Atma Jnanam is the only Jnanam. It is the proper knowledge. It is in the true sense of the term Jnana. Atma Jnanam Vidur Jnanam Jnana Jnanani Jnanitu Tani Jnana Vabhashani Sarashyana Eva Bodhanat. Atma Jnana is true knowledge. Others are the distortions of knowledge, the shadow of knowledge, or you can say the umbra and penumbra of knowledge. Hence they are not proper jhana. V minus ran plus gain equals vairagya. Another faculty of bhagya is vairagya. Do you know what vairagya is? Whenever you come in contact with different objects, physical or mental, under the spell of physical pablum or mental pablum, those objects have pictorial colors. Those colors may or may not be visible, but the colors are there. Similarly, whenever you come in contact with anything or any external object, those objects have their peculiar acoustic waves also. And those acoustic waves may or may not be audible, but those waves are there. Now when a sadhaka by dint of his sadhana establishes mental equilibrium and mental equipoise, then what happens? The sadhaka remains in this world and does all his or her mundane duties with mundane objectivities, but the sadhaka's mind is never assailed by the colors of entities. Then we will say that sadhaka has established himself or herself in Vairagya. Vairagya does not mean renunciation. That is a defective explanation and interpretation of the term Vairagya. You should remain in this world and do your duty with a balanced mind. So the collection of these 6 faculties, all the occult powers, command, reputation, charm, self-knowledge, and mental equipoise, are known as Bhaga, and the knower of this Bhaga is Bhagavan. Now Bhagavan Krishna says you leave aside all other dharmas. Sarva dharman parityaya. All other dharmas are vastu dharmas and yaiva dharma. You need not do anything for vastu dharma because it is automatic. Nor need you do anything for yaiva dharma because it is automatic. You feel hungry before a meal, so you feel the urge to satisfy your hunger. You feel thirsty before drinking water, and that is why you try to quench your thirst. You need not do anything particularly for that purpose, but for Bhagavata Dharma you have to do. That is why it has been said above, ensconce thyself in me, come under my shelter. That is, follow the path of Bhagavata Dharma. What is Bhagavata Dharma? It has already been said that Bhagavata Dharma and Manava Dharma are the same thing. A person in Yuma framework must follow Bhagavata Dharma, otherwise it is not a person, it is an animal in Yuma framework. Another discourse I already explained that there are 3 essentialities in Bhagavata Dharma: Vishtara expansion, Rasa flow, and Seva service. Everybody wants expansion. Now for this psychic expansion, one is to do spiritual sadhana. It is the speciality of the human mind, and also of all other minds, that it takes the form of its object. Now the cosmic Purusha is the object, so naturally the mind will also become like him. Brahmavid Brahmaeva Bhavati, one who realizes Brahma becomes Brahma. So the first essentiality of Bhagavata Dharma is Vishtara. To quench this thirst for Vishtara, one is to do sadhana regularly, and this sadhana will expand the person's mental arena. In this way, a day is sure to come when the person's mind will become one with the cosmic mind. This is called Vishtara. The second essentiality is Rasa. Rasa means flow. You know, whether there is any expression or not in the cosmic Shiti Shakti, there is a never-ending flow. That flow has no curvature. It moves on just like a straight line. This Shiti Shakti is known as Shiva. Also, when the Shiti Shakti is the transcendental entity, its activating power is its innate principle. Now when the innate principle or binding principle or activating principle gets the chance to create something concrete, then the Shiti Shakti is known as Shiva. When within the transcendental scope of the Shiti Shakti, the activating force does not get the scope to create something concrete. In that case, the Shiti Shakti is known as Parashiva, and the nucleus of this Parashiva is known as Adishiva. For Shiva, the English term will be the attributed consciousness. For Parashiva, the non-attributed consciousness. And for Adishiva, the supreme nominal subjectivity. Now in the case of Shiva, that is, in the case of this expressed universe, there is force, there is wave, but those waves are not straight waves, they are not straight lines, there are curvatures in those waves due to the influence of the binding principle of Mahamaya, the supreme operative principle. But in the case of Parashiva, the movement is there, but it is in a straight line. So wherever there is Shiva, wherever there is the cognitive faculty, wherever there is Shiti Shakti, there must be flow, there must be rasa. That is why it has been said for him that he is Sarva Dyota Natmaka Akanda Shila Ekarasaha, an all-vibrating and flowing, unbroken flow of cognition. In the Vedas it has been said, Rasa Bhayasaha, the supreme entity is the embodiment of the flow of bliss. What is his speciality? He is a flow arasa, and his devotees were able to dance according to the rhythm of that rasa. Devotees always dance, either physically or mentally, according to a certain rhythm, a certain chanda. So the devotees dance according to the rhythm of his flow. And Paramapurusha Krishna, Adi Shiva as the hub, as the numinal subjectivity, is in the center, and the devotees, all human beings of the entire universe of Haripari Mandala, dance around him according to those rhythms. In the center, or the hub, Paramapurusha exists, and his devotees are dancing around him according to the rhythms of the waves emanated from his body. It is the Rasa Lila of Paramapurusha. It is the Rasa Lila of Bhagavan Krishna, the dancing in tune with the rasa, or cosmic flow. Vishtara was the first item of Bhagavata Dharma, and the second one is rasa. Through kirtana, while dancing, you enjoy that cosmic rasa, and you attain Vishtara through dhyana and japa, as you learn from your acharya. The third factor of Bhagavata Dharma is seva. You know that there are two words, seva and vyavasaya. The meaning of vyavasaya is business. Business is always mutual. If you want 1 kilo of sugar, you will have to pay for it. You give something and they will give you sugar. So business is mutual, not unilateral. But seva service is always unilateral. You give something in seva but take nothing in return. This is seva. In the advertisements of certain business concerns, you can find written, "We have been serving the nation for 50 years. No, that is not seva. It is vyavasaya business, because they are being paid for it. The railways are not rendering service to you, because you are paying for your journey by train. If it were unilateral, then only could you have accepted it as service. You should understand clearly the difference between seva and vyavasaya, between service and business. Your relationship with Paramapurusha is that of seva. Now in seva, while doing your sadhana in your mental arena, in your psycho-spiritual arena, or mentally while you are uttering the incantation or repeating it, you should mentally serve your object of adoration or object of meditation. Simply uttering the mantra won't suffice. Mentally you should serve him. Again, in this world of physicality, you are to serve Narayana physically. Narayana in the form of people in deep trouble. This is service, selfless service. Service always is selfless, because it is unilateral. It is not mutual but one-sided. So Vishtara, Rasa and Seva. These are the three essentialities for Bhagavata Dharma. Bhagavata Dharma is a must for every human being. This Bhagavata Dharma one should practice from one's very childhood. Lord Krishna also advised people to follow this Bhagavata Dharma only. And to follow Bhagavata Dharma, you are also to follow the Shastra of Bhagavata Dharma. You are to follow Yama Niyama. You are to follow the code of discipline. You are to attend Dharma Chakra weekly. These are all codes of discipline as prescribed by Bhagavata Dharma. You must follow these codes. There cannot be any concession in this respect. Rather, concession is dangerous. Atta Yoga Anushashanam. One must follow Anushashanam. One must follow the code of discipline. One may be a king or may be a very poor man, but the code of Dharma is equally applicable to all. In this matter, nobody can claim any special concession or favor. Lord Krishna says, "You follow me, that is, you follow my word, follow Bhagavata Dharma, because you are a human being." What is the meaning of Krishna? Krish means to attract, so Krishna means one who attracts the whole creation. He is the nucleus of the entire cosmological order. Another meaning of Krishna is Krishi Buhu. It means I exist because he exists. So he is called Krishna Swarupa. A fish exists because water exists. In that sense, water is Krishna for a fish. Why does a fish exist? Because water exists. Similarly, all living beings exist because he exists. That is why he is Parama Swarupa for all. This is the real meaning of the word Krishna. He says, "You leave all other dharmas, give up all other isms, you just follow me, you just follow Bhagavata Dharma, because you are a human being." Lord Krishna again says, "Suppose you are a sinner, You are a degraded person. Your past was black even then. If you follow me, I will liberate you from all the fetters of all sins, all the reactive momenta. I am with you. I am to help you. I am to liberate you. Apishet sudura sharo bhayate mamananyabak sopi papavinir muktaha majate bhava bandhanat. If even the most wicked people worship me, with a concentrated mind, I will liberate them from the three bondages. You know, sinners are of three different standards. A pickpocket and a murderer are not of the same standard. Sinners belong to different standards. Now Sudurashara means the worst sinner. Such a person is even hated by other sinners. He is the sinner of sinners. Yet if even a Sudurashara takes the shelter of Paramapurusha, Bhajate ma nanyabak, ensconces himself or herself in me, surrenders at my altar, then that person also will be freed from the bondage of sin. Sopi papa vinir muktaha. He or she will definitely be freed from the reactive momenta of all sins. He or she will be freed from all the bondages of bhava, that part of one's samskaras which carries one to the next life. Muchate bhava bandhanat. Then that person will become one with me, will be in me. A devotee must remember that for him or her there is only one Dharma, and that is Bhagavata Dharma. Through this Dharma he or she is taking the shelter of Paramapurusha. In the past it may be that the person was a sinner, or may be that the person was very good, but that question does not arise here. That person is to take shelter in Paramapurusha, so a devotee has no other Dharma but to take shelter in him.